Hello guys and welcome! At last I am doing my first ever campaign on Total War Warhammer 2. Although this is take number 2. So I did actually record earlier and I recorded about an hour of footage, did the full episode for you guys, and only to find out when I replayed the footage back, my mic didn't record. For some reason I haven't been able to figure it out. I could hear my voice in my head, whilst I was doing it through the earphones, but it just didn't work. So unfortunately I have done the first tiny section of this campaign before, but I did about the first 7 turns, so I can hop in and be able to, make up for some of those mistakes I made that you guys will never see. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cool content in there as well that you've just seen, some really awesome stuff, but we'll try and recreate it and we'll see how it goes. So I am going to be Ikit Claw for my first ever campaign as Clan Scryer. And don't worry fans of people who are not Skaven, I will be doing eventually a campaign with every faction. I think I'm going to do Aleph and Nar for the High Elves, just because he's super awesome. I might even do a lore video for him, like a small, 20-minute one, not one of these big, multiple-hour videos, just to know where he is at this point. I'm probably going to do one of the new lords for Lizardmen, Tehenna or Tic-Tac-Toe. Dark Elves, I'm not quite so sure. I mean, Lokir Felheart sounds pretty good. I mean, mainly because his faction is called the Blessed Dread, which sounds very cool. And eventually I will get these DLC ones as well. When eventually I get some money in to be able to buy those. I'll also can do some of the old Total War ones, Total War Warhammer 1, like the Dwarfs and the Empire and so forth, and even Immortal Empires actually. That'd be really good fun doing Immortal Empires campaign. For those who don't know, is the campaign map from Total War Warhammer 1 combined with the campaign map of Total War Warhammer 2, so it's huge. They tend to take quite a while by the looks of it, but today we're going to be going with Ikit Claw. Now unfortunately his initial challenge is hard, which I don't know how that's going to work out, it being my first campaign and not being very used to Skaven, but we'll see, it'll be a good challenge either way. So let's see his faction effects. He gains access to Clan Scry's Forbidden Workshop. I didn't know what this is, but now I do after my first failed recording. It's like a little research lab, basically, where you can upgrade certain units. They tend to be the wacky inventions, like the Doom Flayers or some of the guns. So our research rate of plus 20%, loyalty plus 2 for new recruits. So Skaven are very obviously backstabbing by nature. So when you hire a secondary lord and so forth, if they get unhappy with what you make them do and some of the decisions you make, they can betray you and come after you. Construction costs minus 40% for engineering buildings, very good. Start the campaign with a Warpstone Doom rocket. And now I didn't know what this is. I'm so glad the footage doesn't work because I used one for the first time and they're amazing, they're crazy, but hopefully you guys haven't seen them before and you'll see what they do. Now upkeep reductions, minus 50% for Warplock Jezzails, Rattling Guns, Warp Fire Throwers, and recruitment rank plus 2 for all Skaven weapon teams. So as you can see, Ikit Claw's all about the mad inventions. He does start with additional units, Warplock Jezzails, Rattling Gun weapon teams, and Doom Flayers. That seems like a really great set of units to start with. They're really quite powerful in the end tier, but you do have to protect them, they're a little bit squishy. And I'm going to play on normal difficulty, so I'm not easy would be far too easy I think. I have played campaigns before on the original Total War. I did try and do a Lizardman campaign when this game first came out on my old laptop, but it just couldn't run the game and it just kept crashing, so I didn't really get to do it. So we'll do normal for now. If this is too easy, we're just, correct it on future ones. They do have a few attributes just as a race. They have the Skaven Under Empire, so I didn't get to use this, so we'll see what it says. Establish warrens in any settlement, undermining your enemy's progress, or hide in plain sight while growing your own empire. So this is really cool and thematic. I believe it means you can build a city underneath someone else's city. So in the lore, Skaven have their own cities underneath most of the Empire cities, and I think a lot of other races as well. And then they pour forth from the sewers and whatnot, or leak plagues into the city and all this awesome stuff. So we'll see how that works. Food, so they need to maintain a food supply to gain growth and other bonuses. Works in the same way as the Book of Grudges from the Dwarf campaign, where if you keep this in the positive, it gives you loads of bonuses to your campaign, and if you get in the negative, it gives you loads of debuffs. And there's also such one as Skaven Corruption, so it determines, it's a detriment to local public order, but however it allows you to spawn additional units of clan rats to fight in local battles. Without further ado, let's get underway.
Deep under the world, they chitter and plan, watching, waiting. When they emerge, it is a nightmare vision. The Skaven, a ravenous horde of verminous ratmen. They gnaw at the roots of the world like an infected wound. They mean to rule over ruins, for such is the will of their god, the great horned rat. Only the island home of the High Elves has remained unscathed. And at its center is the Great Vortex. A swirling maelstrom that siphons chaos from the world. The Skaven covet its vast power with envious, beady red eyes. The twin-tailed comet is oft seen as an omen, but this time its wake has disturbed the winds of magic. In the secret halls of the Under-Empire, the Council of 13 has gathered. A time to scheme of opportunity.
I kill dwarf things in Pillar City. No! Clan wars go to Southlands. Hunt for Warpstone. Moors are puppet minion. Pestilence infest Lastria. Yes. But all Warpstone for council plan. Come, scribe slave. Work to do. Comet makes elf things weak. Council wants power of the vortex. Just as prophecy demands. So it too. You read markings on the Black Pillar. Then you know we must find the Screaming One. Find out how to control the vortex. Oh yes, master. But a large tribute of Warpstone will that demon require if we summon him. Return to your assigned clan. Harvest Warpstone. Yes, most precipitous of masters. And flay yourself, your impertinence. Oh, it will be done, your worship.
Yes. Okay, that looks rather good, guys. Okay, we need to... Looks like acquire a lot of warpstone and also do some kind of sacrifice to do with that vortex. So this campaign is unlike previous Total War campaigns where you tend to just have to take 50 provinces and wipe out certain factions or hold certain cities, much like in Total Warhammer 1. But this one has a bit of a story to it. So, much warpstone here in jungle? Yes, Lakota says so. Experiment I will, make things go zap zap boom, cancel, be impressed. So I actually muted this guy on my previous campaign because it was giving me a lot of kind of advice that I really didn't need because I have played previous Total Wars and their campaigns, so we can skip through that a little bit there in the tutorial. So how they play. So Skaven Under Empire, that's where we can build underneath other cities, I believe. I haven't managed to do this yet, so we'll see how that goes on. There's the Filament Workshop, Food, and Skaven Corruption. But we looked at all of those earlier. So we could have our first mission, Grip Hold. Capture and occupy a settlement belonging to the following faction, Vampire Coast Mutineers. Okay, so some mutineers here to deal with. It gives us 1,000 treasure and 8 warpstone, which is very good. So the really cool thing about this campaign is you're actually in a race against the other main factions, the High Elves, Lizardmen, and Dark Elves. And you can see that at the top here, for anyone who doesn't know. You have to collect warpstone, which gets you to these little rituals you have to do. They cost, and also like they're, start an event. And it's a race to the end, to the final event. And so far we do just have the Star Tower as our main capital right now. Let's look where we are over on the map. So we are here, we're fairly central. What I tend to like to do is capture a corner. Because then, in the corner when it's fairly safe and can't be attacked by anyone, you turn it into kind of like a cash cow, with all your mines and just giving all those good resources. While the outside actually has all the troops. Sorry guys if I have to keep taking sips of water. I did record for an hour earlier, plus another video, so my throat is rather dry unfortunately. So I think the main plan is going to be the same plan I went with last time. which is I'm going to try and take out these mutineers. They seem to be who I'm set up against to start with. Force my way left and start working down, so I can try and get this nice chunk of Lustra here, in which case then I'll probably start pushing upwards. So let's see how it goes. We do have Ikit Claw here, and a Warlock here. So I'm going to chuck the Warlock in his army. So heroes can go out and do different actions themselves, you know, like disrupt enemy lines and so forth, or they can join armies. I think we're going to go straight after these guys, get a nice early battle, and try and take guys out. So we have Count Guyula? I don't know how to say that. We're up against them anyway. I can sacrifice some food for some growth, for the menace below, which means I can basically spawn rats out the ground. But I don't think we're going to need them. I think we should be fairly comfortable, so let's hop straight in. Now I'm going to try and keep these videos to between 45 minutes to an hour long. I know they can get a rather drag, but to show a campaign, you know, in like 20-minute videos would just take so many episodes. I think 45 minutes to an hour might be quite a nice range. And then you can always watch, you know, 10 minutes in your like lunch break or whatever, go away and come back and watch the rest, you know. So it'd be quite interesting. Let's see what we have. Now I did find in my little, we can call it a test run before, but unfortunately my failed run where my mic didn't work. So it's a lot harder to micromanage whilst talking. So obviously normally I just show a lot of replays. And in the replays, I can just focus on commentating, whereas in this, I'm also trying to do kind of, you know, the battle itself. So it should be quite an interesting challenge, especially because I'm not overly apt yet at the moment with Skaven. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to get these guys, we're going to turn off skirmish mode, let's group everyone up. So it's a bit easier to micro. Both my lords in the front. These guys are pretty good, I found out so far. Ikit Claw does have Brass Orb. I now am playing after the update, which I wasn't before. So there's been a big update, guys. I might do a video on it because it affects my channel quite a lot, as the Lizardmen seem to have taken a fairly big nerf, which is unfortunate. And Skaven have been changed slightly, and a few other factions. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get this battle underway. I'm not going to gamble, that's quite a lot of Winds of Magic. So I'm going to move you forward. Let's immediately try and start sniping out. Oh, there we go. Sniping out these bloated corpses. And we'll move you forward, just round the side. And move you guys a little bit. So one thing I did find out last time, which I'm hoping to see and play this time, it was such an awesome moment, which unfortunately I lost, is that bloated corpses, okay? If you guys don't know what they are, they're basically suicide bombers. However, if you shoot them at long range, they still do explode. So if he explodes right now, for example, he will damage his own troops here. We'll send these guys in over here. So bloated corpses are good at taking out units, they're not so good against these kind of single entities, so I'm going to roll in, wait for him to drop on the floor to explode, and then just roll away. And as you can see, he doesn't really do any damage there. We'll pull these guys back a little bit for now. Oh god, these guys have moved forward because the... I'll move him across there. The angle wasn't too good for them to shoot, so I'm going to have to pull these guys back and blow the other one up with these as well. There we go. Just gonna jump in. I mean, I'm taking quite a lot of damage, but at the same time, it's probably worth it for the two blow corpses. Let's move Ikit Claw back now. I can capture these guys if I want. And then target them with my snipers. For Skaven, it's going to be quite fun. I haven't played Skaven too much before in the multiplayer. You've seen me use, I mean, them once or twice maybe. And they have some quite cool units, but I haven't really explored the whole roster. Because I've been kind of fighting in one particular way at the moment, which is sitting back with the guns, but we're mixed up a little bit with this campaign, you know, that's the kind of nice thing about campaign. It forces you to use some units that you didn't previously use. Okay, let's drop some of this Warp Lightning, which is very powerful, especially early stages, you know, against these kind of like light troops. So you're coming in, it does a nice little bit of damage, nothing too crazy, but it's good, especially for early play. Brass Orb there. Let's move up all our other like little troops. They don't need to step back here. We've taken out the deck choppers, so he doesn't really have any backline for us. Get these guys tied to enemy lords. What am I doing? Well, Doom Flayers, so we have got a little bit of trouble. They're getting shot down by these gunnery mobs. I'll push through some of my units, I should be able to sort them out. Another one of those here. And straight away fill up with another one. Okay, everything's looking pretty good so far. We've kind of broken through. We're on top of some of these nasty guns. And the front line's going fairly well. You're always going to lose Skaven, which is kind of rare, because I don't normally play with factions like Skaven in any game, really. I tend to go for things which tend to be elite. And Skaven obviously the opposite, they're mass chaff. You have to get used to losing units, and it's something I'm not actually particularly used to. And the cool thing is actually with Skaven, it's very Skaven-like. Friendly fire is a huge thing. So these rattling guns over here, if they shoot from my unit, they will kill their unit, and they do not care. They will just continue to shoot. There's not other factions where they have bad line of sight. These guys just go for it, which is very Skaven-like, and it's very good fun. Drop another one of those. The warp lining is super good at the moment, I find. I might just drop there, so I'm doing so much damage to them. Especially early game against these, mutineers, have a lot of low tier troops. And we continue slowing down the Lord, and with that, these guys are going to start to deteriorate and disintegrate. And there we go, a nice early battle. Now the bonus, obviously, of doing this for a second time is I've done this battle once before already, which went a lot worse last time. I still managed to win, but it took a lot of damage, did a little bit of bad micro. I wasn't really used to talking through as I was playing. But down goes the count there. It was a close victory, but everyone's done pretty good, to be honest. You got some big kills on Ikit, and these guys are really the heavy punching power that I expect, to be early on in the game. Let's go back to the campaign map. Choose our option. So I can eat the captives to give me 5 or 8% there health replenishment to my units. I can enslave them for some food and leadership, and I can sell them off.
Pain to be had.
I think.
No use for this flesh.
I'm just going to enslave them now. That extra food's nice. So we spoke about scaling food earlier. When you're on a medium level like I currently start on, it's +3 growth, which is very good. The more food you get, the better bonuses. You get at the end +20 growth, 10 leadership, better public order. If you start losing food and start to starve, you get massive decreases. So it seems like a very important thing to keep up. And on campaign, unlike my player, you can level up your lords. And when they do level up, you can give them bonuses. So obviously you can see down this area, I can make him a better and more powerful wizard, giving him extra spells and extra buffs. Down the bottom, I can give him campaign bonuses. In the middle, it's actually better to his entire army. So we can look around here. If I give him, say, pack leader, it's +4 melee attack to all clan rats in his army. So this can be really huge. You can make those kind of weak Skaven front lines a little bit tankier. And at the very top here, we have some of the mounts you can get when you reach certain levels, and also quest items. So quests are a special kind of chain of missions you can do once you've unlocked them, and at the end you're rewarded with a powerful weapon or artifact. So let's see, let's level him up a little bit. I'm actually going to go for Brute Marcher, which is +10% campaign movement, which is just always nice and easy early on. Now last time I did actually go into the Fuming Serpent and going to colonize it, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to fall back. And I am going to start recruiting some troops. What do we want to get? Probably just some cheap slaves for now. Just for a bit extra meat into the army. Now, as you can see in the star tower, I don't have any building slots available yet. I've already got a warpstone telescope in here and a harbour. The harbour's pretty good for growth, so that's all good, and money. This just gets me a few troops and whatnot. So I think that's going to be an end for the first turn. I mean, I can try some diplomacy and see what happens. So who do we know? So we know that there's 2 Skaven near us, which is quite cool. Where are these guys? I'll up a little bit. Blessed Dread, a couple of Lizardmen. The Lizardmen definitely won't trade with us, and Vampire Coast. We seem to be fairly friendly here. Yeah, friendly and improving actually with the Blessed Dread. So let's go have a little word with them.
The question is,
do you guys want to trade? No, you do not. Okay. Apparently they don't like money and sharing the wealth, so I think that's going to be the end of our first turn. Actually, I'll show you guys the workshop. So I actually discovered this for the first time last time. It's really quite cool. So Skaven gets something called warp fuel. You can get this by doing battles or taking cities and so forth. You can upgrade some of the units. So here I can upgrade Doom Flayers, which is very cool. And over here I can upgrade weapon teams. So you give them such things as onboard waste compactor. So that replenishes ammo, which is very nice for them. That seems really powerful. Bonuses to Giselles, and the further down you go, ghillie suits are very powerful. You can make your army stalk, so they go invisible, and all sorts of crazy abilities. Now with the update, Doom Flayers have been heavily nerfed, but I don't know if that's just for multiplayer. But either way, I'm going for Warp Flares because it just sounds so cool. It's like Thor's hammer where Thor's fighting. Lightning should be striking down random locations as these bad boys are in combat. So I think that is going to end the first turn. Can't do any technology yet, as I do need to get a building beforehand. Which building is it? A rubbish pit, apparently. which sounds a very Skaven-like building. So as we can see by this little symbol here, this city is a ritual resource site, so this will give me a constant stream of warpstone, which I need to get to start doing these missions, to get to the end mission. So there's the end of turn 1. That's pretty successful, took out an army, leveled up our lord, and starting to build a little bit of a bigger army, getting some meat in there. I'm going to go take the Fuming Serpent, but I think I'm going to buy another lord to go do that, because when you take a ruined city, you lose about half of your forces and you have to pay some money. The more forces you have, the less money. But it took them forever last time to replenish, so I'm going to switch up the tactics just a little bit. So let's go Star Tower and see if we can recruit a lord. So probably going to go cheap and cheerful to start with, as we've got a decent amount of money. We don't want to spend too much. These guys are rather expensive. Now last time I believe I got Pustin. It reminded me of Putin as well, so I was going to change his name to something Putin. However, he has changed his trait this time. So we're going to see if anyone has any better traits for us. I want someone who's kind of fast. So these guys kind of idea to start with. We've got to go Putin. It's actually going to be first colonize the city, then there's treasure hidden around the map. And if I sail onto these, it can give you bonuses or negatives. And it's quite cool to have like a little treasure hunting Skaven little fella here. So first of all, he's going to head off in this direction.
They will die!
I think we probably need a slightly bigger army still. So we're going to chuck in a couple more slaves.
Yes.
And let's go for some more, I say elite troops, but clan rats, And that'd be a nice, decent-sized army there. Cool, I mean, that was might be just a very quick turn 2 there. I'm just kind of building up a force. So I bought this guy, sent him over. He's very loyal at the moment, which is nice. So he's not likely to betray me. He's a good little rat boy. I think that's going to be end of turn 2 rather quickly. I will try and use one of the Doom rockets this episode because they're very cool, very cinematic. It was so good last time, just very, I've said it multiple times already, I don't want to ramble too much about it, but disappointed that the old recording didn't work. For some reason my voice just didn't record over it, which is strange. Something seems to happen here, I'm not 100% sure, this is just the waves seem to be coming into this whirlwind here. Which will give you attrition. Oh yeah, and there seems to be a big storm over me. This isn't very good at all. That's kind of cool that the environment changes. I didn't know it did that as we go along. So let's get the Fuming Serpent. Oh no, wrong army there. This is something you will unfortunately have to get used to, is me misclicking and leading the wrong army in the wrong place. I do like to do that quite a lot. These guys were heading this way anyway, or so I'm going to claim. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to occupy it. It's a lot of money. I'm not going to give any food to level up straight away, don't think, because that will move me down a bracket, which isn't very good, so we're just going to colonize it straight away.
Warlock ready!
Hey, and a mission issued. Extensive Foundation. Maintain control of 2 provinces, either by direct ownership or through vassal and military alliance. Okay, that gave me 2,000 gold and 7 warpstone, which is very nice. And I've secured my first province, which is great. So as you can see, each city, it belongs to a province, and sometimes they have only 2 cities in like this, sometimes they have 3, sometimes 4. Now when you have all of them, they kind of give a bonus, and that bonus is down here. You can give a commandment to the region. So we can either give explorative planning, plus food generation, plus Skaven corruption, martial planning, minus recruitment cost, lord recruitment capacity plus 1, expansionist planning, construction cost minus 10, plus 20 growth. This seems very good for me. You like to grow your cities quite early on. To do that, you use growth. So I think that's probably the one I'm going to go for. Or efficient planning, public order plus 2, and untainted. We're definitely going to go for expansionist there, which is all good. And what can we do with these guys?
Warlock engineer.
I reckon one more round of recruiting might go quite nicely. Going some spears like that. And the next turn they're going to be off. So I think my plan here is to go for Mouth of Corvetza. And then, I guess, just push left and down. I really want to face Tehenowin because I think it's quite cinematic. The DLC's about both of them. I believe he's down over here. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll work our way down. And if not, we can just, we'll hunt him down. We'll find him. There's nowhere the Skaven can't see. Cool, so I think everything's all good there. That's another quick turn. A lot of these turns early on will be quick, and obviously as your empire gets bigger, it's a little bit harder to kind of maintain it. Come on, my friend, you know you want to trade. He did this all last time as well. He just really doesn't like to trade. I'm not sure why. He apparently likes me for some bizarre reason. Maybe he's just got a fin for rats, who knows. So we're skipping through all the turns right here. So also guys, if you have any names for any characters or units, I can change names of them. So I'll keep Iticlaw as Iticlaw. For example, I can rename the Warlock or a unit. So if you have any particular names or you want a unit to be named after you, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll just add it in. See who can come up with the funniest names. So I have a right unlocked now, the Dominating Scheme, which is very cool. So we go check out our rights here. Rights are kind of not magic spells. I don't really know what to call them. I guess it's just rights. You can perform every now and again. They have a cooldown. So obviously this one, once it's used, I have to wait 15 turns, which is a long time before I can use it again. And you have to get to certain levels before you can unlock some. Some are very cool by the sounds of it. There's the Scheme of Doom, where you summon this engineer, who I think, by the description, which I read before, means he can run into a city and just blow it up, which seems crazy powerful, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet. So I've unlocked this one. It's plus food generation, plus a ton of growth, public order, recruitment costs. But I think I'm going to save that till I have a few more cities to make it a bit more worth it. Okay, so we're going to move our army over here.
Travel now, now!
I'm going to start heading off this way. Now I don't see another army yet, which is quite good. It looks like our Warlock has leveled up.
Needs errands to
I'm
prove
probably
going to
go the magic route to increase kind of the number of spells I have, a bit more diversity. I'm going to go for Scorch. Let's see what happens. So there's several ways of moving, of course, like all the other ones. You can force march to move a bit quicker. You can ambush. You can use the underway, much like the dwarfs. So I can sneak, underneath the water here, underneath trees, which would normally slow me down and do damage to me, if there's any dangerous predators in the area. So Pestilin over here is gonna... Let's go over here and see what this little piece of treasure is. There is a sea corpse here, apparently. There we go. Monster of the Sea. Your ocean scouts bring news that the bloated corpse of a massive sea monster has floated to the surface in some nearby straits. Although its carcass swells dangerous and noxious gases, you know that the belly of such a gargantuan monster can potentially yield numerous valuable treasures. A salvage mission may be a risky endeavour. However, as it is likely that other salvagers have also caught wind of the opportunity. So let's see our options. Loot the carcass. You may have to defeat a foe in battle. A great hoard of treasure may be received. Or await, and only a miserable hoard of treasure will be received. Unfortunately, I've only got my lord here, so I don't think I can pick a fight with anyone, so I'm gonna have to go the safe route, I think, here. I mean, that's not a small hoard, 1,000 gold. If someone came up to me and gave me 1,000 gold coins, I'd be rather happy. So that's all good by him. Is there any other treasure around we can see? There's one down here, so we're going to head him off in this direction. We might as well make him go into force march.
Me! Pedal faster!
There we go. And the awesome thing in campaign mode is you don't need to build ships like you did on like Rome Total War and stuff. The amount of times you built a fleet and it got destroyed by pirates was frustrating. You just move the army in and they just form the ship, and their strength is just based, on the units. So he's done all his movement. I don't think there's any more buildings I can do yet. No, they've also got a harbour here, which is nice and good. It gives growth and good income. So I think that's just going to be the end of the turn. Do I dare or even bother trying to trade with this guy again? I mean, we have a non-aggression pact, and apparently he likes me more and more each turn.
You are about to experience the hospitality of Karen. I will not.
No, not a happy geezer. So we're just going to leave him to it. I'm just going to take another sip of water.
My infernal armory interests you. Yes.
Looks like we have Luther Harkin here with Vampire Coast. Let's see what he wants. Okay, wants me to pay him 200 gold for a non-aggression pact? I do not think so. I will do non-aggression pact though. No, they've rejected that, that's fine. I think he's a little way out actually. I don't think I've got too much, to worry about from him. Oh, okay, there's Vampire Coast Mutineer army sneaking up. Probably coming back to defend their capital. It looks like they have the Blooded Swamps as well over here. So they're going to be a little annoying to root out, but I'm sure we can do it. So mission issued, lair expansion. Ensure that one of the following buildings has been constructed. Occupied Elven Colony. Cool. 1,000 gold, 6 warpstone. I don't see any Elven colonies, but who knows? Some of these might actually be Elven colonies. I think over here they're mainly be kind of lizard man, like temples and stuff, but we'll find out.
I'm all for it.
Nah, I don't want to trade with you or anything. No peace. No peace from the Skaven. We take what is ours, and the world is ours. I'm going to underway there. I'm going to wait here, try and block him off from getting to his city. If he does, we'll crush them all in one place. Let's send this guy on a little trip down here.
What a trip!
Go down. What is this, I wonder? It is a shipwreck, apparently. Okay, let's see. The sea location of interest. While sailing on the high winds, your lookout spotted something in the waters to the stern that may have been an interest of you. But you were sailing too fast to identify what it was. Switch to the full stance before returning to location. Ah, so I can't see these in the full speed stance, so I will move that back next turn. Looks like we can build something of human spirit. Or human serpent. So we can level up this city. I do have enough money at the moment, it seems. So I'm just gonna go straight for it and upgrade. Cool. And let's hop on to the next turn.
No, no!
It's quite nice taking on Vampire Coast early on because they're not a faction I've really faced too much. They weren't in the game before, and oh, that's actually going to be a pain in the arse though. He does have 4 mortars, which is super deadly, but his main force is pretty weak. I should be able to just rush him, I think. And I seem to have gained a banner here, so +5 leadership. I'm going to chuck that to, let's see, probably you guys. Just going to chuck that there. Now, do I want to bring any menace below? They'd be really good at hopping on top of the mortars. I am running a little bit low on food. If I take one to... what level is that? Between 40? I'm unconvinced. I'm probably not going to take any for now. But we'll hop in the barrel and see how it goes. Now, I'm not going to be one of those guys who ever saves before the battle, you know, and then if they fail, reload and try again. I'm happy when, you know, for other people to do that, but in my eyes it's kind of cheating. I don't see what's the point of playing if you're going to do that. I mean, part of the fun, you know, is trying to do comebacks. You know, if someone kills you, you kind of get a history of that person and you want to come back and get revenge. And that's what I think the game's all about, you know, like forming your own story. So I'll never do that, but if other people want to do it, you know, that's fine. This is an interesting looking map. Oh, it is in the underway, of course, because I was in the underway. I'm going to keep 22 Winter Magic, that seems pretty good. So we'll start with the Skaven Slaves up front, just as a big old meat shield. It should be quite interesting in this campaign, because I haven't used Skaven too much. I'm not going to be too good with them. So it should be, you know, just quite a fun, maybe not the most successful, but just a fun campaign overall. Leave you guys back to protect the guns. Yup. I'm gonna group you guys. Grouping just really helps with your micro. Then with just a click of a button you can control all these units in one go. Get you guys up at the front, and you guys here. So the problem are going to be these mortars. My guns have to get on top of this hill, whereas his mortars don't need line of sight. They're just going to be able to kind of start popping away straight away. I have left units Skaven, oh, 3 Skaven behind over here, but that's fine. We'll move these guys up. Can't see my opponent yet. And we do have the Warpstone Doom Rocket if we do need to use it. It's really awesome. It's a big area of effect and it just tears. I think I killed 3 units completely when I used it last time. It's really cool they've added these things in. I think the Lizman have one with Tenowin where they call on like Sotek, who's their god, to strike down their enemies. But I have no idea what that does. I'm assuming it's a similar kind of situation. We'll find out, because hopefully I will be doing a Lizman campaign, of course. So let's see if we can spot any troops. Doesn't look like it so far. Let's move everyone up just a little bit. So just for anyone new playing the game, if you do select low units and hold the Alt button, you can move them as a blob, and they just stay in the same formation they are and move up. Okay, here we can see a few enemies here. Let's get these guys off skirmish mode, onto guard mode, and get the snipers starting to pop away this blade corpse. So if I can pin him down from long range and there's some troops nearby, they do explode. It's fantastic. It happened perfectly last time. Oh god, and you can see the Moors have already started to fire. I don't think he's got too much backline harass, so we're just going to move all of these guys up. While again, these guys are trying to snipe that blade corpse.
Yes, yes, yes!
I want you guys to move up, you to move up, and all you to move up. My opponent is blobbing. I'm really tempted to use the Doom Rocket. I just really want to show it to you. But we'll wait for a kind of a better opportunity, I think. These Moors are doing some huge damage. Moors are very good, actually, against Skaven in general. So get you guys, target down you. So hopefully if this guy explodes here, he should actually manage to pretty much wipe out these 3 units we've seen, or at least do a lot of damage to them. You can see my missiles coming in. Not the most accurate of fellas. He is on a bit of a hill, so it is a little bit harder for them to shoot him. They can only probably see the tips of his head. But these guys are all moving up. And I do have these. I'm going to try and just push them all the way around the back. Unfortunately, I don't think my sniper's going to be able to take him out in time before he hits my front line. Let's move these guys back. Send him in forward to take the hit. He's going to be blow up, but he's not. Oh my god, he sends my guy absolutely flying there, but doesn't actually take too much damage, and he should be able to just kind of push it forward. The Doomflayers getting in the back there, doing what they do best, just being a big nuisance. My enemy's army now kind of has split itself into two, which is fine by me. Let's push these guys through. As I'm kind of tearing up the back of those flares, these guys can go around in the back, and let's get these guys all running in the front. Drop a little orb, and let's start getting some warp lightnings going. That one down here, and that one there. Warp lightning's a super good spell because it's fairly cheap so you can cast a lot, and it actually does like a surprising amount of damage, which is more as I'll turn up some of my low tier troops. But that's what they're here for. They're here to die, aren't they? They're just Skaven. We don't care too much if they actually go down. So you to get on the far side, on this side. Let's push you. That one. So there has been a few nerfs to Skaven, including this thing. So before Brass Orb could be summoned instantly, which is a very powerful Vortex spell. Now it does have a 3-second cooldown, which I think is a nerf that needed to happen. I will probably do a video on the nerf just because it does affect its gameplay quite a lot. And I think some of them need to happen and some of them didn't need to happen, especially in the way that they did. I think some things got nerfed a little bit too hard. As we can see, everything is going pretty good. I've got a couple of units straggling in the back. I did forget you guys, but there's so many Skaven, it doesn't really matter. Snipers are just shooting in, trying to pick their targets. Everyone's going after this Lord. And we're basically just going to plan on surrendering. Let's get in there with them. You guys don't need to do that. So the back line is compromised. These Maws are slowly getting overthrown. Doomflayers getting there, doing what they do best. Pull you two back. Hop in, finish off these guys. So have you guys done any campaigns? Do let me know. How did they go? Were they successful? Who's your favourite campaign as well? So far I've mainly done Total Warhammer 1 campaigns. I did try Liz Man campaign at one point on my old computer when the game first came out, but it just couldn't run it. It was all laggy and it kept crashing, so it wasn't too good unfortunately. But I did really enjoy Dwarf campaign before in the previous game. I'm really sad they're not kind of very competitive in multiplayer and they really start to struggle. Now one thing that Skaven do like to do is friendly fire. So these guys, if I shoot in on this Lord, they do not care who they hit, these guys. They will hit, you know, Skaven if they want to get in the way of these guys, and you can do some serious damage yourself, so you have to be a little careful with them. They're not very useful in this fight unfortunately. I'm just trying to take down this Lord now. Who does stand alone. It is Count. Oh, it's the same Count by the looks of it. Unless they've got multiple people called the same thing. Count Gungula, back from the dead once more to try and take an escape. But I think I'm going to be able to take it down for a second time. Let's move these guys up. Sorry, my apologies if I do sound a little bit dead. I have done obviously the big hour recording beforehand, another recording as well from my player, so I'm a little bit low on energy. It is the end of the day here, but I want to get this out as soon as possible because I was disappointed I couldn't get out, you know, when it was meant to be out. So a nice decisive victory there, which is nice to see. You very rarely get decisive victories on this game, I find. You see the Mortar's got a huge amount of kills. They're all on the slaves and kind of pointless targets. Doomflayers have now got a little chevron there, so they've leveled up, which is very good, and just decent damage all round. So nice easy victory, and now I should be able to take their city, which will be very limitedly defended. I'm just going to eat the captives. Because I'm going to continue on the warpath and try and take this city down here. Oh, there's someone called the Terror of the Dark Straits. I'm assuming that's a pirate faction. So another mission issued. We have search any rude settlement for treasure. Okay, that sounds cool. 500 treasure plus 6 warpstone. So we do have some leveling up. Ikit has leveled up here. Let's have a little check. What do I want to go for? I think I'm going to do what I did the last time and go for bonded service here. Plus 3%, well 3% off recruitment costs. Considering he can be changing his army quite a lot, so this is quite a cheap army. It's not. I don't want it for too long, and these guys are going to die quite often. He's going to be recruiting a lot of troops.
Warp lightning!
Let's switch stance. Normal stance. Attack it.
Despoil!
Okay, so it's not a walled city, so I can attack straight away. I don't know why the balance of power is so much in their favour. I can't see how I can physically lose this. I mean, I suppose they do have a couple of guns. We've got some deck choppers and a couple of below corpses. We'll see. We're hopping for it. do the rest of the turn first. We may end on the sacking of Kurvetsa. This is definitely going to be a campaign of me mispronouncing names. I mean, in Illustria, there's lots of Aztec names. So do feel free to correct me, but I will probably keep getting them all wrong.
Master Engineer.
Let's see his... We have to go out and back in.
Keep afloat, breakwater.
Let's go there.
Warlock on
There we go.
water.
So the Island Song. While on an ocean crossing, an island inexplicably rises out of the sea before you. As your fleet approaches, the crew hear an eerie but ensnaring song that carries over the turbulent surf. A tune that promises much, with lyrics singing of everything from the untold riches of the Greasus Goldtooth to some of Nagash's secrets of undeath. The verse foretells the attainment of great power and wealth. All you must do is order your vessel closer to shore. Is it what the sirens want? Okay. I'm afraid I may have to face a foe in battle, and I only have the one unit in here, which is just a Lord. So I'm going to unfortunately have to wait. But again, I mean, 1,000 treasure. That's pretty damn good. And I guess we just keep exploring south with him and trying to find a bit more treasure. So let's once again hit him into the Force March stance, and we can just head down this way. So, my city at the moment, I can't build anything more. I'm just trying to do this upgrade. Let's try a little bit of diplomacy. Okay, he's improved a couple more times.
By the cruel, make
So
your
come on, Luca,
entreaty
you know
quickly.
you want to trade
There are
some
mortals
goods.
to enslave. Do not order me.
No, once again rejected. Eventually, you know, I'm going to stop offering this deal and I'm going to come down and crush you. So, you better start accepting. We can be friends. I don't need to fight everyone. I think I've got some more Skaven down here. But, you know, Skaven like fighting other Skaven. So I don't have any kind of honour, you know. I'm not going to be like trying to team up with them or anything. But I'm going to take out these guys first. Probably try and get this province. Finish off them up here. They do have the blood swamps as well. And then work my way left, probably up to these mountains, and start working my way down, which I think's a fairly decent plan. But again, guys, if you have any suggestions of which direction I should go, what units I should hire, and so forth, just let me know. So, do I have any more fuel? I do have 2 fuel. I feel like this is really good, but it is free fuel, so I'm gonna have to wait that one out a little bit. I want to see the warp flare zone action. Actually, that'd be quite cool. So let's just hop in now, and we'll fight this battle. This is probably going to be the battle to end the first episode, which is quite exciting. But we're trying to take down the mouth of Kurvetsa. It looks pretty good, to be honest, to me. I mean, if we can shoot those bloated corpses from long range, they can't do mass damage. I think that's probably where they're getting a lot of their balance of power from. I mean, if you shoot them long range and they kill their own troops, I mean, it's just bonus, isn't it, overall, really? I wonder if he's all going to spawn together. I assume he will. I'm guessing these guys don't come from behind, because they are just the city. So all cities have a garrison now, so you don't have to leave an army behind. However, the garrison can be tiny or huge, depending on the level of city and what's inside the city defensively. 19 Winds of Magic's good. We don't need to add anything up there. And let's just start deploying. So let's do Skaven Slaves on the front, just to take any initial fire. And if anyone does have to get hit by Blood Corpse, I mean, Skaven, they're the best for it. So that's probably a wide enough line. Cool. Cool. And I'll group all of those guys. You two can just sit in the front. The inspiring leaders that they are, they lead from the front. Now these guys, I'm going to put on top of the hill here, so they get a bit of line of sight. Put you on toggle that, and toggle guard mode. These guys are going to be on the front line. I still haven't found a good way of using these. I know some people are great with them. I, however, am terrible at finding line of sight. It's much like Iron Drakes. So I tend to put them on the front lines where they get a few volleys off and then have to fall back and try and find a new position. Let's get this underway. Immediately I want to start targeting these bloated corpses. One's flanking round, so I'll charge these guys over who the bloated corpse can't really do too much damage to. Let's pull you two just a little bit forward and over here. So a big volley coming in there, he's already down to almost half health. You guys in here. We are taking a huge amount of damage actually from these guns, so I'm probably going to get them in and then pull them all the way back. As we can see, he's just about to explode. Oh, he just catches the end of their units. And again, the exploding corpse here, however, did explode in his own unit. So basically wiped those guys out free as well. I mean, I took a lot of damage, but no units are lost, so we'll just start falling back. These guys can now start payment on their lord. And let's get Ikit dropping some of his flame attacks.
Warblades
Get a couple of units up as well.
Clan rats! Fight bad! Die! Die!
Get the Doom players up around the back as well. They're getting an Icy Claw, but they're not going to do too much.
Clan Scratcher! Infernal weapon!
We do have our new ability as well, Scorch, which is more of a breath attack type thing, like one of those tier attacks. So getting in there and dropping that along. Let's get the rattling gunners up there. Get them started shooting into these. Oh, they're cool. Oh, they've got a name. That's pretty cool. The Reed Jury, the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. They only start taking some pretty heavy damage. We'll start moving up some of our reserve units and some of the ones over from the flank and start moving up. These guys can just go into the back line. As you can see, the fight's going pretty damn good at the moment. I really want to use the Doom Rocket. I used it really cool last time, but there's no point using it. We'll see it. I will end up using them. We'll try and use them as much as possible. Drop some more of these in. Really start finishing these guys off. Oh, so he's thrown down some spells as well. A Spirit Leech is very nasty on my Doom players here. If they are still alive, I've got two. They're not going to run off. I mean, this battle looks pretty much won to me. There we go, that's a very successful battle there. The battles went a lot better this time actually, so you know, I've got a few things to be thankful for my mic not working. So another decisive victory there. Now I do lose troops, you lose troops every single game with Skaven. I mean, I still lost 100, but they're just slaves, you know, they're pointless. They have a short lifespan anyway, so they might as well die. And we'll be able to take the sea, which is very nice. So that was Connor Rogers this time, leading the force. Got 8 kills himself. Blow corpses didn't get any kills apart from a few friendly fire. They did a little bit of damage to the Doom players, but nothing too scary.
Blight revels in this victory.
Yes, Ikit, yes we do. So gain some food by attacking the city, and a little bit of loot, which is quite nice. I think we're just going to hop in and occupy, so we can loot and occupy, sack the city, get a bit more gold, but you leave in your opponent's hand. You can raise. We can expand the Under Empire. I've seen this, but I haven't clicked the button yet. I am going to do it, but I'm probably going to do those north, because I'm deciding to head kind of west and south. But north-wise, I'll probably spread an Under city that I don't have to maintain too much, because it is under my opponents. But for now, we're just going to loot and occupy. We'll save that for next episode. Killed an enemy in battle, and the mission successful, which is very good. So I captured or occupied a settlement belonging to the Vampire Coast Mutineers. There's 1,000 gold and some nice juicy warpstone, which is keeping me up now with these other factions. So that's all good. Follow again, so gained a mechanic for the Warlock. That's coming out. That fits quite nicely. So +1 per siege item constructed. Nice. Follow again for Ikit Claw, a Scribe, increases campaign movement by 8%, that's great, because I've already got the +10%, and recruitment costs, okay, I'm really liking the Scribe there, that's very good. And they both leveled up, so let's see what we can do. This is up to level 4 now. I'm probably going to carry on this way just for now, to really make it cheap to buy some units. With the Warlock Engineer, let's go for Death Frenzy, I think. That's a nice little, you know, +26 melee attack, +25% weapon damage, immune psychology, to really buff up one of my units and turn them into a kind of frenzied killing machine. And I have a new city! Let's repair this dock here. Axolotl is the next one in the province, and it's unmanned at the moment, so I'll probably send someone over to take that in a bit. I might even bring this little guy over, actually. You know, get him to do his job, which at the moment is just kind of settling cities and so forth. So let's start his movement over there. So I think that was a pretty successful first episode. I think that's where we'll leave it. I've captured, you know, 2 settlements, won a couple of battles. I've really punished those mutineers who now just have the blood swamps left. And I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it too much longer. Even if I don't go up there and take it, I've wasted out most of their armies. So we're doing pretty good money-wise. And I think overall, you know, we're not too bad in the chase at the moment. So, cheers for tuning in, guys. It really does mean quite a lot, and this is my first ever campaign episode, which is quite cool. Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit dead and whatnot. I know I've said it so many times this episode, but, I'm just a little bit tired. Have been recording all day, and unfortunately having to re-record. So, one final thing, guys. I do have a Patreon page now, which is very exciting. For those of you who don't know what Patreon is, it's where you can support the channel. So you go over to Patreon, you can become a member of my channel, or you can do small donations. And if you're a member, it allows you to vote in polls, which I'll be putting up shortly, and they'll be to decide, any future content, any future DLCs I go for next, any future campaigns, what armies you want to see, and you can really kind of dictate what happens on the channel and where it goes creatively. No pressure though, of course, all my content will forever be free on YouTube. It's just if you want to help support the channel, any way you can. Apart from that, if you guys want to support in a different way, you can just like, subscribe, and comment. It really does help, guys. That's how YouTube promotes, all the content. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully this recorded. Fingers crossed, all the sound. So peace, guys. See you next time.